Good afternoon. My name is Dan Range, and I have chosen to talk about Oliver Otis Howard. Oliver Otis Howard lived during the Civil War and was a commander of the was one of the commanders in the Union Army. Oliver Otis Howard, known to many as a Christian soldier, uh, rather interesting character. He endured a conflicted life. One, he was a soldier, and number two, he was a Christian. And to many, soldiers were taught to kill, and Christians were taught not to take life. So he lived in the middle of these two mindsets. Oliver Otis Howard was born in Maine, and he converted to Christianity in 1857 within the Methodist Church. However, his conversion, although important, may not have been the most critical influence in his life. Howard read a book about the Crimean War in which the heroine was not only a Christian, but he was also uh, an exemplary soldier. Uh, Howard was uh, went to West Point, and he was a cadet, and he over time he became a professor of mathematics, and he became active within West Point in church activities. Now, a soldier engaging in church activities was rather a different perspective. And so he did receive some criticism because of his church activities. He saw action in Fredericksburg, Bull Run, and Antietam. And however, he did have a setback when his brigade was encountered General Stonewall Jackson in Chancellorsville. Due to his loss, he was looked upon as not having very effective leadership, and he lost a great deal of men. Howard was actually a radical Republican, an abolitionist, and again, uh, Howard actually moved eastward to Columbia, North Carolina, and he had an incident where uh, his troops were ordered to loot the town. He ordered them not to loot the town, but yet they did anyways when he was found asleep. Because of this incident, he did encounter a great deal of criticism on both sides. Some felt that he was an effective leader. Some felt he was not effective. Now, just prior to Lincoln's assassination, uh, Lincoln appointed Howard to the Freedmen's Bureau. And the Freedmen's Bureau was designed to allow a transition to offer a transition for those who were slaves, such as finding land, offer education, food, and other things. Now, Howard was given the position of commissioner of the Freedmen's Bureau by Lincoln. However, he was appointed by Johnson to take the post. Now, in during his time as the commissioner of the Freedmen's Bureau, he elicited some policies. He made some policies that in order to help the former slaves, that proved to be somewhat unpopular. Basically, the Freedmen's Bureau under his leadership fell on deaf ears. And and for example, uh, he was for land taken away from the Confederates to be given back to be taken by the government, whereas Andrew Johnson favored to give the land back to those who fought for the Confederacy. So there was a lot of bureaucratic disagreement both into his policies and just the Freedmen's Bureau um, in general. Now, however, Howard did find success. He helped enable blacks or African Americans to learn how to read. He developed policies that eventually landed them the right to vote. Uh, his uh, his policies also inspired to have Howard University be named after him. And through his policies, he was a real inspiration to those who were enslaved, and he really helped a lot of people uh, out of a dark period in American history. So, in summary, Oliver Otis Howard was a man of faith as well as a soldier. He used his experiences to enable African Americans to better themselves by enabling them to earn the right to vote, establishing schools, and advocating for civil rights. I would like to say thank you for listening to this presentation. Oliver Otis Howard is an interesting gentleman to read about, uh, and I hope you found it interesting. Thank you.